Welcome to our first tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you some wonderful papercraft activities which you can do at home with friends or family or within an organisation that you work or volunteer at. I've chosen papercraft as our first activity because it's really easily accessible. You don't need a lot of complicated tools or materials, and it's really something that everybody can do. I'm going to show you a few different outcomes, and within those individual projects, the possibilities are endless of what you can create. You can see a few of the examples here of what we're going to be making, but let me clear the decks and then I will show you in more detail what we're doing. Okay, so the first papercraft that I'm going to show you is how to make these wonderful little paper decorations which would look lovely on a Christmas tree, but also hanging in windows, for parties, any kind of decoration really. They're really lovely objects, and the paper that you use can be anything. I've used origami paper because it's got beautiful patterns and prints on, but you could use anything, old Christmas cards, magazines, even, you know, old books, anything really. It doesn't have to be sort of expensive paper that you're using. So let's get started. So you're going to want to get some paper. Like I said, I've chosen to use origami paper. The reason why I like this is it's double-sided. So you either get two prints or you get a print and then a plain colour. It just means the inside looks as nice as the outside. But it doesn't matter if you've not got that. You can see on this one here, I've just used white on the inside and it still looks lovely. So you're going to take your whole sheet of paper, and it doesn't have to be squares, it can be A4, whatever you've got to hand. And then you're going to cut it into strips. Now you can easily do this with a pair of scissors and cut it by hand, or if you've got a guillotine, you can use that. You can do it by eye, or if you're a bit more particular, you could use the back and mark it up first with a ruler. I've got some ready to go here that you can see. So the idea for these decorations is you're going to create a series of swirls and shapes and secure them at the top. And there's no right or wrong way to do this, you're just going to explore. So I'm going to show you maybe two different examples. I'll show you one like this first, which is all different shapes and sizes. So you're going to get your strip, loop it round and hold it at the top, like so. Then you're going to get another strip, tuck it under. Can you see how I just poked it underneath my thumb there? Lift it up again, but to get some interest, I've made that one shorter by making this tail end longer here. Hopefully you can see that. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So poke it under your finger there, pull it up and round and secure it in top. Let's move those up so you've got a nice clear image of what I've done. Now because this is just a demonstration, I'm going to keep it quite simple with just the three. But as you can see, you can do as many as you want and lots of different configurations. When you're happy with it, make sure all the papers are in line and then just cut the tops off so it's all nice and even at the top, so you've got a nice neat top. Now this is when you're going to need a stapler. You can glue it, but I find the stapler is easiest to use. And I'm just going to hold them there and staple the top together. And now you can see we've got our decoration. To neaten up this top edge, and I've done this with all of these ones here, take one of your little offcuts that you've used, loop it round, and then you're going to use that to cover up the top, like so. And again, you can either glue it or you can staple it again. I don't mind the staples being visible. I think they're quite subtle. I don't think you really notice them, so I think they're fine on there. And then what you can use is you can use a bit of string or twine. We've got these lovely sort of cords that we're using, and you just thread it through the little top bit that you've made, like so. And then to make mine even more exciting, I've pulled the two ends together, found a nice bead, threaded it on, like so, and then just secured the ends in a little knot at the top. And there you have it. A really lovely, simple decoration, took literally minutes to make, but that looks really beautiful. And what's nice with these is you can make a whole range of different ideas, different samples. The finishes can be as varied as you've got time to explore and play with. This one's a really nice one. Get those out of the way. It's got one in the middle and then they get there. But they're all really lovely little items. So that's the first activity that I'm going to show you today. Let's move those out of the way now and I'll show you the next one. So the next activity I'm going to show you is this really fun pom-pom garland. And you can see they're made up from little paper discs. Really, really fun, really simple to make. So again, you're going to want some paper. I've used origami paper because I've got it to hand, but again, it could be anything. Wrapping paper, scraps that you've got at home, anything. You can choose to cut the circles out yourself. You could draw around a penny, the lid of a Brit stick, anything really to get your circles. But what makes life easier is one of these really handy little cutters. They're great, they're not very expensive, about £5–10, but they will save you a lot of time and make things a lot easier. And it's basically a giant hole punch. So you're going to go round and you're going to cut the circles out. So I'll do these ones here quickly. And these little offcuts that we've got here, you can still use these. Don't throw these bits away if you're into crafting. These can all be used, so we don't like to waste anything when we're doing craft. So once you've cut them up, this one's got a handy little clip in the bottom and then it tips them out. So once you've got a whole range of different little circles, you then need to fold them in half. So take a little one of your circles and fold it. And I've done that the wrong way. What you want to do is you want to fold it. So if there's a right and wrong side, like there is on here, we've got a pattern and a plane, you want to fold it right side in. And you just want to do that with all of them. Now if you're doing this session with people that maybe aren't as dexterous or their hand-eye coordination is good, you can prepare this or work with bigger shapes. I've obviously worked with a really tiny, oh that one's flown off. I've worked with a really small circle, but you can nick them much bigger and that would obviously make it easier to do. But you can pre-prepare these as well for your group if that's going to help make things easier. Okay, I won't do them all. Now you can use as many or as few as you want. I believe in these, let's count them. I use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've used 8 little circles for one ball. And that means it's quite full. You've got quite a lot of detail on there. You could do 3, 4, it's completely up to you. But what we're going to do is we're going to stick them together round in a circle. So we're going to start with one, and you just need a good old Brit stick. Put a tiny bit of glue on there and line the next one up. And the reason I like Brit stick is once you've stuck it, you've still got a bit of time to move it. Stick another little bit on, stick that on. And you just keep repeating that for as many as you want to do. And if, like me, you've not been keeping track of how many you stuck on, pick it up and just count them. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so I need 2 more on there. Glue. And the last one. Now once you've got them all together, spend a bit of time just wiggling them and getting them as straight as possible. And just sort of pinch them together, like so. Now what you're going to do is you're going to open it out. So you've got the top bit here and you've got one circle here. Nice bit of glue in the middle. And then again, we've just been using this kind of cord that we've got here. But you can use whatever you want really. And you're just going to trap that bit of string in the middle. Make sure you've left an even space between the two. And seal that little circle up. And then you just fan out the rest of the shapes. Give it a little spin. And that's it. Really, really lovely, simple craft. These look great for any decoration, any party, Christmas, Easter, anything really. And you can do different shapes as well. It doesn't have to be circles. Explore with different shapes and see what kind of results that you get. So that's your second activity. And I've got one more to show you. Again, clear some space. Now the next decoration I'm going to show you are these wonderful twisted decorations. Now this is a single one. Obviously it would look beautiful hanging in a window with a bit of a breeze so it can twirl around. And if you do it on its own, it looks beautiful. But if you do multiple ones of them, you can then attach them together and make a star or a snowflake, which looks even more beautiful in my opinion. So I'm going to show you how to do this. It's not as confusing as it looks. So for this, again, you need to start with a square of paper. Again, I'm using the origami paper, but this is white on the back and I still think it looks really lovely. If you've not got square paper, just make sure you cut it to size. So you're going to start by folding your paper in half diagonally. Press it down so you've got a nice, sort of neat fold. Then you're going to fold it in half again, like so. And really push those lines down. So that's it, we folded it in 4. Now this is a bit you need to make sure you go the right way. Have it pointing to the right and have the fold line at the top. So point to the right, fold at the top. If you do that, you won't go wrong. Now what you're going to do is you're going to cut lines on here. And I believe on these ones, 1, 2, I did 3 cuts. So that's not many cuts. On this one here, I did a lot more. 1, 2, 3, maybe 5 on that one. So you can see the difference. You get more twirls on this one. But we're going to do 3 because we're going to make another one like this. Now you can measure it if you'd like to measure it and make sure they're even. I'm not going to worry today. I'm just going to do it by guesswork. And you're going to cut through and you're going to leave a little join at the top. Can you see I've not gone right the way through the end? I've left a little bit of space there. That's really important. And then do your second one. And again, cut that up to there. That's it, that's your cutting done. So now you're going to then open it out. And now's the fun part. So we now have to stick these together. Again, we're going to use Pritt Stick. You can use glue dots or double-sided tape if you want to, if you've got those to hand, but this is fine. So putting it one way, you're then going to fold it round and glue it together. Like so, it takes a little bit of time for the glue to go off. Okay, then what you're going to do is flip it over. Put a bit of glue on this side. And repeat the process, but twisting it the opposite way this time. So bending it this way around. And again, lining it up, just holding a couple of seconds to kind of make sure it really sticks together, and then flipping it. Oh, didn't leave that quite long enough, let's just hold that a bit longer. And then again, you're then going to repeat the process by flipping it over and doing it again. Oh, I've just realised I didn't do as many cuts. This obviously had 4, not 3. But it will still give you the same idea of what you do. You need a little bit more glue on there. Okay, I'll just hold that in place a little bit. Now these are really lovely crafts to do with young children as well, because they look really impressive, but actually the skills that they need to make them, bar some simple cutting and gluing, are really minimal. Nice bit of glue on that corner. Fold them over and stick in. So yeah, you can see the difference here. Sorry, this is 3, so you've got 1, 2, 3, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4 folds. But the process is exactly the same if you're doing 3 folds or 8. You just keep repeating the process. You can see the more you do, so this would have been 2, 3, 4, 5, this would have been 6 cuts on this one here. Okay, I think that's all stuck. Now if you want to make the snowflake, all you then need to do is join them in the middle. So again, a bit of glue in that middle bit. And then still the same, a little bit fiddly. You glue them together in the middle and just hold them there and pinch them there for a little bit of time before you then go on and add your next one and your next one in there. And that completes your snowflake. Now it's quite easy to get the cutting wrong on this one. This is where it could go wrong. But if you do cut the wrong way, don't throw it away, because this is one that I made up from one that I cut the wrong way. So the join wasn't the way we wanted it to be, it was in the straight line. But I thought, well, hold on, what happens if I still twist it? And actually, it's still a really lovely thing. And if that doesn't work, you can cut it into strips, and you can use your paper strips to make a decoration like this. So that's it. 3 really simple paper craft activities that hopefully inspire you to do some making at home or at work within your group. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have any questions or any other ideas, don't hesitate to get in touch. Thank you so much. Bye.